Hello, and welcome back to Codecademy's Learn Responsive Design course. We're in the Sizing Elements section, this lesson, M, and it says, incorporating relative sizing starts by using units other than pixels. One unit of measurement you can use in CSS to create relatively sized content is the M, written as EM in CSS. Historically, the M represents the width of a capital letter M in the typeface and size being used. That is no longer the case. Today, the M represents the size of the base font being used. For example, if the base font of a browser is 16 pixels, which is normally the default size of text in a browser, then 1 M is equal to 16 pixels. 2 M's would equal 32 pixels, and so on. Let's take a look at two examples that show how M can be used in CSS. So here we have a class heading, which has a font size of 2M. In the example above, no base font has been specified. Therefore, the font size of the heading element will be set relative to the default font size of the browser. Assuming the default font size is 16 pixels, then the font size of the heading element will be 32 pixels. So we have a class splash section, font size 18 pixels. Then we see this dot splash section class H1 with a font size of 1.5 M. The example above shows how to use M's without relying on the default font size of the browser. Instead, a base font size 18 pixels is defined for all text within the splash section element. The second CSS rule will set the font size of all H1 elements inside of splash section relative to the base font of splash section, which is 18 pixels. The resulting font size of H1 elements will be 27 pixels. So instructions: in style.css, set the font size in ID banner H1, Banner's travel blog to 1.5 M. So first, we're in style.css, set the font size. So let's find this ID banner H1, and we want to set the font size to 1.5 M. So I come out of here, run this, so that we passed that one, and it did change our text. Second, set the font size in the class post H2, which is, here's our dot post H2. We're going to go ahead and set this to 1.75 M. Let us run this. So the post H2, let's see where we have an H2. This Saturday market, which is here, should change. So let us run this. And we do see it get larger. Set the font size in class post H3. So back here, we go to dot post H3. We're going to do font size and set it to 1.25 M. That should be under there. So let's see how it changes when we run. Did change it. So now set the font size in the footer to 0.75 M. So the footer, let's see, it's here. And we are going to font size 0.75 M. Let's see, that's down here. So this should change. Run that. Got a little smaller. So that was all using M unit. And all of that went based on the default text size if one isn't specified. The M unit is very helpful when you don't want to set a hard-coded pixel value, because as we learned in the first lesson, hard-coding a value will make it hard to represent on all devices, since a large font on a large screen might appear normal size, while that same size might seem huge on a smaller device. So that is the M unit. I will see you guys on the next lesson.